Namaste and welcome to this special interview edition here on PSP Nepal Television. I'm Shivanee Thapa Basnyat. We all are very much aware of the important and central role of various levels of exchanges in fostering relations between two friend nations, especially when it comes to the relations between two neighbors. Today we seize the spotlight on this very central element. And as Nepal and China celebrate the 70 years of diplomatic ties between them, we have in our studio today distinguished guests who have played a very, very important role in bridging borders through the very creative means of storytelling and academia. We're pleased to welcome to the studio director Chen Yingqi, who's a very, very celebrated documentary filmmaker, dear viewers, and has spent over a decade capturing the dynamic and cultural transformations of Xizang, which is so relevant and important to Nepal and Nepalese. And she's been helping global audiences see that particular region through an intimate and human lens. Joining us in this reflection and dialogue is Professor Xun Zhan, a leading scholar in international communications and cross-cultural dialogue, who brings very, very deep insights into media narratives, and her speciality, especially in the context of Xizang and South Asia. And together, we will make an attempt to explore how communication and culture and storytelling continue to shape mutual understanding between our two nations. A very warm welcome to both of you to NTV studios.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right. So before we even begin, could you tell me the context that brings you to Kathmandu? Maybe we would want to begin with Director Chen.
I came to Kathmandu for the Kathmandu Mountain Film Festival, and I'm a jury. And these days we watched a lot of fascinating films from all around the world, Yeah.
So how excited are you to watch these diverse range of films at KIMF?
Yeah, very exciting because we have a lot of sessions like short documentary, short fiction, feature documentary, and long documentary, different sessions. And we watched around 40 films together. It's very interesting.
It's great deal.
Yeah, the people from different cultural backgrounds make the film. You know, we can see how people live in the other side of the world. It's a very interesting experience, and we can also share some filmmaking experience with our counterparts from all around the world, because there are like 5 members in a panel, so it's we can talk to each other about how to do the ratings, and it's very interesting.
Right. What is it at KIMF that is so important in terms of relations between Nepal and China, and also to you personally?
I think KIM have the spiritual of the filmmaking, and it's very free, and people can express their artistic opinions and also their feelings, and to share the experience of filmmaking. Yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Really. Professor, how about you? I'm sure there's so much more to you than KIMF while you're in Kathmandu. So what is your relations with Kathmandu?
Okay, this is a long story, and I work for UESTC, University of Electronic Science and Technology of China, and in our university, I work for School of Public Administration, and we set up a research center named Pan-Himalaya Region Communication Research Center several years ago. In this research center, we got a lot of cooperation and co-works with Kathmandu's scholars, and we also hold a lot of conference between us. Last year, we held the first international conference of the major journalism and mass communication in Nepal. It's named Pan-Himalaya Communication and Public Administration International Conference. And in this year, we also hold the third international forum here. We take part in a lot of journalism education and mass communication research here. We cooperated a lot of jobs with the local universities here, and we also raised up a lot of students in Nepal, and we also issue some full scholarship program to Nepali students.
Let's come down to the context, especially films that are so central to our conversation today, right? Let me turn straight away to Director Chen. Over the past decade, if you look at it, Chinese documentary and cinema, they have undergone like a very, very powerful and significant transformation. That's what I believe. In your view, what do you think has catalyzed this particular evolution, both on the basis of creativity and culture?
Firstly, I think because China grew up and China developed so fast, socially and culturally, and especially with the growing up of the younger generation, I think they grown up in a very fast development environment, and they are hungry for knowledge, they are hungry for the artistic expression, and their interest in documentary is increasing. So China became a very huge market for documentary filmmaking and also the filmmaking as a whole. So that's why that there is needs for the young people to consume the documentary products.
Let's move on to Professor Xun Zhan. As a scholar of media and international communication, Professor, how do you interpret this rising prominence of Chinese documentaries in shaping the global perceptions of China?
Yes, and as time goes by, and documentary films changed a lot, and now our aspect of documentary films have the globalization aspect. We also take the globalization value here. We use different technology as time goes by, and we use high tech to produce our films, including documentary films. And the cameras develop a lot. For example, we use digital technology to take the films and to fulfill the editing.
How do you think has these online and digital platforms helped China to expand the reach of these narratives beyond your borders?
Because online media is borderless, so the younger generation prefers to open their accounts online, and they can issue the short videos and short documentary films by themselves by different platforms, and they also have some new ideas and a new conception to expand this industry. That's fantastic and amazing. Sometimes we feel astonished by their new ideas.
Okay, Director Chen, this is a very opportune time for us as both countries, Nepal and China, are celebrating 70 years of the establishment of diplomatic ties, right? So what do you think, or how do you think, in fact, that films can be a vehicle to fostering the people-to-people relationship between the two countries?
I think film is a very important vehicle because film can break the language barrier, and people can have their expression freely and to express themselves, and especially to express their culture identities. And Nepal and China, we share a lot of the same thing in the culture. So that is a very important way for us to tie the two countries together, and especially for the younger generation. They live in a very free and open environment, both in China and in Nepal. I think for the younger generation, the young filmmakers, they can join together and to do some cooperation together and to to make some great films together.
You've worked extensively across borders, right?
Yes.
And both academically and diplomatically, I believe, right? So what practical do you see, having said the platforms that are open for exchanges of these sort of collaboration, do you know or are aware of any practical frameworks that could be developed to support more robust film and television collaboration between Nepal and China?
Yes, I think so. Nowadays, more and more Chinese company and the Chinese TV station and filmmaking companies, they are searching the opportunity to get some co-shooting opportunities between Nepal and China, because we are the border brothers, and we share the borders, and we are the brothers with long-term relationship and friendship. And we have the same feeling about the nature, about the Everest and the Himalaya region, and we can take the films of the nature, animals, culture, Buddha, something, a lot of things we can take part in together.
Right. How specifically, how think tanks or university centers like yours can play roles in facilitating these sort of exchanges?
Yes, we got a lot of time and a lot of opportunities to take part in the friendship and the cooperation between our two countries. One side, we raised the Nepali student in Nepal, not only in Nepal, but also in China. And we also push the cooperation of academic research between Chinese university and Nepali universities, including Kathmandu University and Tilburg University. We set up some research programs between us, and we also want to push the people and the filmmakers cooperation together. And this time, we set up the Xizang Panorama. It is the first time for KINF to open such session. It's a new test, and it's a kind of new challenge. We cooperation together, and we co-worked together almost 1 year, and we are looking forward for the further cooperation together. And the Chinese producers and the Chinese filmmakers and the Chinese directors, they are looking forward to helping Nepali documentary films and fiction films as well. Such as Miss Chen, she wants to set up some program between Nepal and China.
As a filmmaker, what sort of transformation have you seen in this context of Xizang, and how do you ensure that storytelling remains very authentic and inclusive as a filmmaker?
Actually, I wouldn't call it a transformation. I think it means a better life, and people have more choices, because China develops so fast, and as well as Xizang. And Xizang developed so fast socially and culturally, but we also preserve a lot of traditions. And I think people living in Xizang, they have the choice, the freedom to choose what kind of life they want. They can choose like traditional life, and they can also choose it's kind of like a mixture of modern and old. Why I just came from Lhasa last week.
Okay.
Yeah, when I stay in Lhasa, I think it's a city of both young and old. It's quite interesting. It's a kind of interesting mixture there. So when I talk to the local people there, and especially the young people, they are fascinating about the fast developing, and they can also use the internet. They can access the TikTok, and they can send messengers to their friends all around the world, but they can also choose like a kind of like traditional life in other parts of Xizang. So I think it's a very interesting story, and people have more choices about their life. Yeah, And as myself, I really like Xizang, and I think it's a great place for filmmaking because of the kind of mixture, interesting mixture, and you can find very good stories there, and especially the beautiful landscape. But it's the Tibetan plateau is very high altitude. It's lack of oxygen. To be honest, physically we are suffering when we are working, but spiritually we think it's very great place for you to find yourself, because when you lack of oxygen, the question you're thinking about is like philosophical. This place will provoke your philosophical thinking about to be or not to be, about life and death. So it came to the nature of life.
Right.
So I really love the place. That's why I want to make documentary films in that place.
What are the highlights for any aspiring viewers or filmmakers in Nepal to watch at the Xizang panorama?
Sorry, can you say
any
that?
highlights of Xizang that you would want to recommend for the viewers and filmmakers to go and see at KIMF Xizang panorama?
I think there are some documentary about wildlife in Xizang. It's very interesting. The animals living there, how they live there, and their situation, and how we protect the animals, how we protect the environment. I think our topic is a very interesting topic and theme to be focused on. I would recommend that kind of film.
Nice. Turning to Professor Xun, you've been deeply involved in Xizang communication forums, right?
Yes.
So, from your experience, what are the most persistent misconceptions the international media holds about Xizang? And how can we as filmmakers change the narrative?
I think Xizang is quite an amazing place. As Ms. Chen mentioned just now, something old, something new, something traditional, something high technological, and something fashion, something relaxable, and something fast speed, something relaxable speed. The atmosphere is really good and free there, and in such international communication field, we can do a lot of things because the Xizang people, they have lived a very modern life right now, and they also have expanded their version according to the international education and the our how to say high tech knowledge, something like that. And the social media also expand their value of this world. Their conception and ideals has been changed a lot. We can do a lot of things, and the filmmakers, including the Nepali filmmakers and the producers, if you go to Xizang, you can find the new atmosphere everywhere. And they are full of modern stories in their daily life.
Right, from your narratives, one can barely hold back to not go to Xizang, right, from the sharings that you've just made.
Yes.
Let me get back to you, Director Chen, again, especially with your mention of the philosophy of life that Xizang emanates. That certainly sparks some curiosity in any, any hungry person, who really seeks to know the world and people out there. But how has been this tenure for you as a filmmaker been? How has it changed you? How has Xizang has an impact in you as a filmmaker?
Oh, that's a very good question. As a person, definitely what I do will change me, and I will change, with the thing I face every day, because as I mentioned before, because of the Tibetan plateau is with high altitude, and when we walk there, we can feel the hardship who can feel that, you have to tangle with the tough things, with the obstacles. And I think that experience make me more resilient and stronger. So also teach me a lot of things by making documentary film there. I want to mention about the last documentary film I made in 2021. It's about a monastery called Tashi Lunbu, and the monastery is actually in Shikaza. Shikaza is closely connected to Nepal, and from that documentary, I learned a lot of history stories. So actually, before hundreds of years ago, our two countries have the cultural communication.
Trade relations.
Yeah, trade relations. It's a very long story. And during that shooting experience, of course, we faced a lot of obstacles, and we have to think about why this place is so unique or special, and for the filmmakers. And we think about the culture and the place, the landscape, and it's quite, sometimes it changes you in some way you didn't even notice. So after this kind of filmmaking experience, I feel like, when I went back to the metropolitan cities, I heard about, in a modern city, it's very quite different environment with that in Xizang. So if you compare, sometimes you will feel, okay, there's nothing to worry about, because the mountain is there, the river is there, they never change.
Mm-hmm.
But the things changed is maybe your emotions, your thinkings, your philosophical thinkings, or your experience. So I think the most important thing in life is just experiencing, and you can think about a lot of,
Exactly, because as you say this, the conversation or the reflections that we are sharing at this studio also finds its relevance because of that very, very ancient relations. It goes back to ancient times,
Yeah.
when our ancestors, despite the ordeals and the obstacles,
Yes.
made China-Nepal relations happen to the extent that we still have so much familial relations, cultural relations between the
Yes.
two regions, right?
Uh-huh.
And in the complexities and in the noise of so many other happenings in course of time, maybe many of those narratives, many of those historical stories have been lost to nowhere. And that's where roles for academia, for filmmakers, or people in journalism, that's where the
Yeah.
role comes. And I think that's why we're having, even holding this interview.
Yes.
Let me, on this very context, as we're looking forward, Director Chen, how do we, or you in fact, even envision, young scholars or journalists or filmmakers like you taking this legacy forward in an age of this digital noise and information fragmentation? How do you see their role as?
Yeah, digital noise, a very good phrase. Yeah, I think in the age of internet age, and with the information explosion, I think everyone should think about what you really interested in or what you really want, because I think the younger scholar or the journalist, I would suggest they can think about question in depth, because for filmmaking, depth means diversity means more perspectives, and means authentic. And we are seeking the truth, right, by filmmaking, especially documentary filmmaking, seeking the truth and to see the real things is the most important thing. So I think they should train themselves to learn to distinguish what is the right information, what is the misunderstandings, what is the knowledge they want to really get, or the technique. I think they have to have the ability to judge between the misinformation and the truth.
The biggest threat of our times, right? Misinformation. So, coming to Professor Zhan, you've lectured, I mean, across continents, right? From Kathmandu to Oxford, that you've been lecturing everywhere, from Chengdu to California. That's what I read from that very rich resume that you had. So what has this cross-cultural journey taught you about human connection through communication, especially in the light where Director Chan says, sheds light on the need for ability of professionals to dig deeper and distinguish between misinformation and the facts?
That's really a very good question. It is hard to distinguish the fake news for the common person. So according to our research, and the professional journalists are so worthy in this era, and we should insist our journalist values up to now. And because in this era, everybody can be the citizen journalist. Yeah, it is more difficult for the old-fashioned press to get the news. For example, when you met a car accident on the highway, maybe you can raise your camera to shoot the car accident. The speed is faster than the professional journalist. You can issue the short video on TikTok or Facebook, and the speed is faster, much faster than media. But how can we do? We should insist our professional values to get the true information. We should do some really research about that. We should do the investigation information, what's the background information of the news, what's the real information of different things from the government side.
So especially when this issue is cross-cultural, right? About stories from across countries. How can we equip ourselves with techniques to do away with this communication gap?
Yeah, it's really difficult up to now because different countries have different histories, different values, different aspects, but as the human beings, we have the same feeling. We have the same love, we have the same generation passing things, and we also can share some kind of the same feeling, some kind of the same story, but to some very traditional culture elements, we should develop that. We should tell you how we can do that, why we can do that, what's the real reason we do that. So it's kind of problem, and the media should take such responsibility as a bridge to be the ambassador of cross-cultural communication.
And as we now head towards wrapping up this entire conversation, what would be that one message both of you want to like to share with the young, media students, filmmakers in Nepal who wish to use their craft for meaningful cross-border dialogue? How to create that connection, how to create that exchanges?
I think according to the younger generation, and the most important thing is to do the practice and study hard and work hard. And maybe we can read more books about this world, about different countries, and we can understand each other more. And the KINF is a really very good bridge to be the cross communication. And when you view the films from different countries, different stories, but you will feel that the feeling maybe as so similar because we are human beings. As a younger generation, I do hope them to reduce some conflicts online, because sometimes there are some fake news, there are some fights online, there are some really not so friendly comments to the strangers. I think the friendly atmosphere online is very important as well. In Nepal, I always feel the love and friendship everywhere. I do love this country and do love the Nepali people. That's why I come back again and again. And this is the third time I came to Nepal in this year. And next month I will come back again to get some lecture here. That's my great pleasure to do that. That's my opportunity and responsibility. And I think the friendly atmosphere between young generation is also very important.
Any final thoughts for you to young and accomplished filmmakers in Nepal?
Yeah, for the young filmmakers, I want to say to them 3 words: travel, experience, and observe. I think the good story comes from on the way. If you travel a lot, you experience a lot of different cultures, diverse cultures. You talk to people from different cultural backgrounds, like we did these days, and we just walk on the busy street and talk to people and experience Nepali culture. I think that's where the good story comes from. So for filmmaking, the most important thing is to find a good story, and the way you express the story is the way your creation, film creation. So today when I walk on the Kathmandu street, I look at the on the busy roads. I was thinking in that building maybe some good stories going on. So maybe we can find some chance to cooperate together. I mean, the Nepali filmmaking team and the Chinese filmmaking team, we can work together to find interesting stories and to maybe share the culture things. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. We couldn't have ended in a better note. Thank you so much to both of you for finding the time to visit our studios and for sharing your very, very valued thoughts. Thank you indeed.
Thank you very
thank
much.
you. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Yeah.
And to our viewers, soft power diplomacy has various forms. And when it is on the creative side, it digs deeper and remains there for a long, long time. When it comes to relations between Nepal and China, we go back to ancient times, as was said and reflected in course of the interview today. There have been stories that have brought these countries together via various aspects and avenues, and it becomes important with the passage of time and with the complexities of time to revisit and visit those old times, reap the goods from it, and then pave the way for a better and a very closer future. And filmmakers, academia, and people or professionals of the like really have a very central role to play. And that was a message that we needed or wanted to emanate through this conversation, wherein we brought in 2 distinguished people who are in fact working their way to find this bridge between the 2 borders of our friendly nations. We will come back to you with another episode very soon. Until then, goodbye and namaste.